A lot of oil right there. Second day, I'm working on tearing down this 5.7 Hemi that had metal in the oil and a lot of oil leaks and potentially bad lifters, which can tear up the cam. Trying to get this thing taken apart, put back together this week. Today is Monday, and I just got underneath the truck and took a couple of the exhaust bolts out to get these heads off. You can see the exhaust, maybe you can't, but the exhaust manifold is attached to that, and to take that all out in one piece, got to take 2 bolts out. So I just got 2 of those out, realized I hadn't done intro, so I'm gonna get the other ones out, try to get these heads off, as well as look at the lifters, see if any of them are damaged. I'm kind of hoping there's some minor damage on some, so it wasn't, you know, kind of a waste of time, but we are doing a MDS delete kit, and this thing had bad leaks all on the top end of the engine anyway, so we need to replace the gaskets. So hopefully it wasn't too bad, but new lifters, MDS delete, let's see how it goes. This tuner's not gonna let me do anything because it's locked. Great success getting this thing back together. Biggest job I've ever taken on, doing the cam and lifters, which resulted in having to take so many parts apart of this thing. Heads, like anything, water pump you can imagine could be in the way, was in the way. So really excited to hear this thing run for the first time. Really bummed that I thought the tuner would be plug and play, but on this year model, you have to unlock the PCM, and I didn't realize that, even though it says PCM unlock in the kit for this from AMS. That kit came with a PCM unlock package. I didn't look into that enough. They send me one. As soon as I get it in, I send them this one as a trade, you know, like a core charge. So with that, gonna get that done for him. So a little bit delay getting it back to him. Really bummed about that because I'm so excited for him to drive it and, you know, be happy with it. Exhaust is all sounding nice and quiet and good, so really stoked on it. Y'all stay tuned. At this moment, 3 days later, my wife has just realized I shaved my mustache because she's watching the video. She does not love me. Public service announcement. Thank you. Goodbye. So these bolts got to come out of the exhaust, and from what I've seen, a swivel socket and a 14 millimeter is part of the process here. I don't know if that's focusing. And then vice grip is used once this starts spinning when it's not supposed to, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that on beforehand, and let's see if I can get the right angle on this thing to do it. It's gonna be a mess. Dirt all on this exhaust right above my head. It's up in here. You know, I can almost get that without the extension. Hey, it's going. Look at that. Boys, we got one of the bolts out, son. I tell you what, the other one is very loose seaming now. It's been soaking for 24 hours. Okay, that is like the worst angle to ever do a universal adapter. So let's see if that works. Oh, what came out of that? Okay, yeah, that's smacking the adapter now. Oh, it's gotten around the safety glasses and into my eyes somehow. I feel like I could just get a ratchet on that. Something ain't right. There's not like a good way to do the impact that I can see, unless I can get it. Let me try again up in here. Come on, get on the nut. Get on the bolts. There we go. Halfway on there. That is not a good way to line this up. Who put this right here? Oh my god. Yeah, I can either get the socket on the bolt or my extension into the impact. I can't get both at the same time. And now my gun doesn't know which way it wants to go. Is that left? I don't know. spinning the dang backside of it. No, wait. It's just that loose. I think we're almost there. Tastes like out-of-state clay. Georgia, maybe. Oh, my head's in coolant. That's cold and wet. Okay, this nut's almost, I can do this by hand. It's a bolt. I don't know why I keep calling it a nut. What thing? Why did that work so good? It seems fine. Maybe just because the other one was loose that helped it. I don't know. But now the exhaust is free from that, so I can pull the whole manifold and everything off, which is attached to a bunch of stuff that's been leaking everywhere. So let's get out from under here. I gotta do the other side. Back in the shop with my son, after I got the exhaust bolts out, the next thing was working on these heads here. So you can see I've got the push rods out in this bag here, as well as, I guess this is like the rocker arm assembly or something. I'm not sure exactly what you call this, but that had to come off. And you can see there's the springs there. All the push rods went in the holes there. And once I take this off, I should be able to get to the lifters, and we'll take those out and see if there's any damage. I'm expecting some, so we'll see what that looks like. And I have all these bolts broken loose here. They're all 15 millimeter. There was some 10 millimeter ones up here for the heads, but we'll get those off, and the exhaust should come with it, the manifold, since I have the exhaust unbolted. So wish me luck. Once those are out, we'll take a look at the lifters, and then we'll see about this cam. Has to come out as well if there's some damage. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show it to you. Here, you just hold it for a second. What do you think?
Watching.
You see yourself on the little screen right there? That's live action right there. You want to film something? Give them a tour of the shop. Let's go pointing at stuff.
Bye-bye.
I need some gloves. How's your video going? Good job. Trying to take these bolts out. Got some bags sitting here. These were pretty tight. I'll have to look up the torque spec to put them back on, but took a lot of elbow grease to get these off. You want some bolts, Hank?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me put them in a bag first. He heard bolts and said, I want some bolts. How long are these things? Okay, that's what those look like. It's going in the bag. Got QA looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm doing right.
Doing it right. All right.
Bye. Bye. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Okay, once I take these out, is this thing gonna fall off here? No. You see the engine?
A new engine. Yeah. It's broken.
It's broken?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty broken. It's very broken right now. It's not gonna run like this.
Baby. I buckled in.
Buckled in?
Yeah.
How'd you get buckled in a chair?
Get in here.
There's nowhere for you to stand in here. I'm too big.
Do for me.
You have a good chair right there. Just stand. Are you gonna tickle me? Just stand on your chair.
I
I got you a big chair so you can see.
playing.
Are you swinging?
Yeah.
That means you're dangling off the truck. That's not good. Don't fall. That bolt smelled strong. I don't know why I could smell it. Maybe it's the gasket starting to release and I could smell coolant or something. It's starting to smell funny in here, Hank.
Smell. Fine.
It might be because I leaned on it.
No.
No. No what?
There's no engine in there.
No engine in there? There's an engine all right. It's just missing a lot of pieces. I'm gonna see if I can get this one off. I've got all the bolts out. I know some coolant's gonna fall out. I got my cardboard down on the ground, sorta. Let's see if this can just lift off or what. Yep, there it goes. Okay, I got wires everywhere. Alright, here comes the coolant. There we go. Dripping oil everywhere. See the top of the cylinders there? And we got that safely over there. A little oil spilt, but no scratches on the side. The thing is heavy. Feeling good about that. I missed one bolt on the back side of this one. I didn't break it loose, so gotta crawl out and get the breaker bar. Unless you can figure out where the breaker bar is. Do you think you can get that big tool? Find the biggest tool on the table.
That one?
Bigger. Nope, bigger. Yes, that one. Yeah, get that tool. Yeah. Yeah, bring it over here. Thank you, Hank. Good job. All right. Now let's get that last one out of here.
I did it.
You did do it. High five.
Uh-oh.
What'd you drop? Yep, there we go. Definitely forgot this one. I thought I got it, but I guess I didn't. Once these are free, let's take them out by hand. All right, I think this head is free also. Should just be the gasket holding it at this point. The other one came up a little bit easier. There we go. Oh, haha, still a bolt right there. Man, I cannot catch every bolt. I just can't count that high. But there's more bolts on this than I've probably ever taken off of anything. I'm trying to get this last bolt out because I forgot about it. Well, I'm about to get this head off of here. Let's see how that goes. All right, I'm gonna let it drip for a second. Kind of on the cardboard. I can hear my wife now. She bought me some mats to soak up everything on the ground and I keep forgetting to use them. I think it's outside right now. Okay, I'm stuck on some wire. That's bolted to it right there. Son of my biscuits. Alright, I gotta set it there for a second. Why is the oil dipsticks bolted to this? Why? You know what? Why is right? Why is there this thing in my way? Whenever I get everything off, there's always one more thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, why? Alright, note to self, the engine oil dipstick It's on the driver's side attached to the head, not the block. I've just loosened up the 8mm bolts that hold the lifters in. Also got the head gaskets off. You can see them sitting right here. And one thing I noticed while I was doing this, watching videos, I saw a lot of people got coolant all in the cylinders when they took the heads off. So what I did was shop vac out of these front holes here and get the level down a little bit lower. I got maybe a half a gallon of coolant out, and I didn't really get any coolant down in the cylinders, so I feel pretty good about that. You don't want those to start rusting or anything in the time it takes to get these things together. I will have to clean out some dust and stuff that's fallen down from the oil caked up around the gasket. But anyway, I'm gonna get these lifters out now. Let's take a look at them, see if any of them are bad. If a couple of them are bad, just see what we're looking at. That one's bad now. All right, let's see. So those two look good at first glance. That one looks good. This one looks all right. So what I'm looking for is like a worn flat spot in it, and I haven't seen that yet. But either way, even if the lifters are all fine, this thing does have the multi-displacement system in it. In order to turn that off mechanically, we'd have to get rid of the lifters that have this little circle in it, and different cam and some block off plates for this. So we kind of need to do this anyway, but I'm halfway hoping to find a little damage just to make it totally worth the trouble. Here, let me get these out of the way and we'll reposition the camera. That one looks good. That one looks good. That one looks good. Also good. So yeah, if I can roll them and there's no flat spots on them, then they should be good, or at least not that bad. That one seems alright. Oil falling out of somewhere. Hear it dripping. It sounds like a lot of something coming out. Maybe it's just oil draining down into the drain pan. What is that? That one seems good. You can get another look. Well, can't see too well, but see that little hole in it? I'm pretty sure the ones that don't deactivate don't have that hole, but don't quote me on that. This one's pretty scratched up and kind of dry looking, but not too bad. Let's keep going. Only 4 left. Ooh, that went far down in there. You can see I've got the driver's side front cylinder, I believe to be number 1, at top dead center, and that's apparently not necessary for this if you know what you're doing and you put it back the same way that it was. But there is a timing mark on the chain for when it's at top dead center, and you can see I'm not there yet, so I'm going to go around a couple rotations until I'm happy with how it's sitting and show you that mark. You may be able to see there's one mark right here, and then there's a mark on the sprocket guy here. I can't remember what that's called exactly, but you can see there's one mark next to that mark. This one mark on the chain goes on the bottom. So once I turn this around enough times, there should be 2 of those on either side of this mark. So I'm going to keep spinning it till it looks right, and then I'll know the bottom is right, and hopefully that will make it easier to go back together. I've spun this thing around a few times, and as you can see, maybe this will focus, I've got an indentation on the gear and then 2 marks on either side of it. I don't know how well y'all can see that. Alright, and then this is at top dead center, so that should mean that the bottom is in the right spot as well. So when I take this thing apart, as long as I put it back in the right spot without moving the bottom. Pretty stoked on the progress out here. We got the heads and the whole intake and everything sitting on the ground over here on some cardboard, and then I've got all the lifters out here as y'all saw, and then I was trying to make sure I had this thing set at top dead center with the timing marks on the chain so I could keep that all copacetic and not have to make my own marks because there's already some nice ones on the chain. So the next thing I did was, once it was at top dead center with all the marks lined up, I used the impact to take this bolt out that was in the center of this. The impact kept it from spinning over the engine, and it took it right out. And then I depressed the timing chain tensioner here with some pliers and then stuck a scribe in it in the little hole there to hold that loose. I apologize if my camera seems a little glitchy. When the battery starts to get low and it gets a little dark, it starts to freak out a little bit, trying to make the lighting work or something. I don't know. Need a new GoPro, but anyway, got that depressed there, so I made the chain loose, and then I took this off and very carefully used a bungee cord to precisely secure that there. By doing that, it holds tension on the bottom sprocket there for the crankshaft, and that should keep it in the same spot timing wise and everything, as long as I line up the timing marks and put the cam back in the same way and line it up with the little pin in the back here. There's a keyed spot. If I have that going right side up and line up the chain and everything, I shouldn't have to mess with anything else. So if I drop that and that chain falls off that bottom sprocket, I risk having to take the oil pan off and the oil pump, and all that is really tight with the four-wheel drive parts there, so that becomes a really big job. I've heard in lots of videos to try to avoid that if you can, and that's where I saw to do the bungee cord trick. So we're trying that out. Next thing I did was take a T30 bit and start taking this plate off here. So this actually holds the cam in place. I'm gonna get this last bolt out and then try to pull the cam out. So y'all check it out. First time taking out a cam in a truck. Never installed, you know, like a Lopi cam or anything. We're putting like a factory cam back in this thing, but pretty cool. I'll know how to do a cam now, at least take one out. Hopefully we can get this thing back together and have it running smooth. All right, make this plate off. There we go. And let's see if we can get this cam out. I'm gonna put the bolt back in it. Try to pull it out that way. I think this is all I need to do to get it out. Let's see. Don't want to hit the radiator with it, but I am going to give it a good pull to try to get it moving. Yep, got stuck right there. I'm going to try to put it back in and out a little bit. Don't want to have to get crazy with it. There we go. I've seen somebody use pliers on it, but I'd rather just pull it out. Okay, what am I stuck on? Get out of there. So close. Come on, do it. Get out. Come on. You can do it. I think the bolt is in the way. Come on. I'm holding it. Me and my buddies in Mobile used to quote old Arnold all the time.
He's like, I'm here, kill me, come on, do it! Oh, shit. Funny, man.
I see some scoring on this cam, but no crazy wear, which I would expect with the lifters being okay. All right, let's keep going. There we go. There we go. That gave me enough room. Cam is out. Now I'm trying to do it. Let me get it out of here. There we go. All right, so as I expected from the lifters, looking in decent shape. Didn't see any that were like seized and flat spotted, but I did see some wear on them. They look a little tired. I think maybe when it got low on oil, it was doing a little bit of scoring on the lifters, but, or excuse me, on the cam, but I don't see any low spots in it. So I'd say this cam and lifters were doing their job and still in decent shape. So this has kind of turned into a mystery of why was this thing making metal when it got low on oil. I'm hoping there's not a more serious problem. We don't seem to have any bent push rods. As you can see here, these are all sitting nice and flat in my bag here. And they're all sitting next to each other pretty nicely. They were before I had a bunch of stuff on the table. but we had some kind of damage done when this thing got low on oil, and I know by doing this I'm going to be replacing all those gaskets that were causing that oil leak, so that's a good thing. Also, we're going to be doing the MDS delete, the multi-displacement system, which shuts off half the cylinders, makes this thing economic, which really just tears itself up. So we're going to at least be doing this delete kit, and then we're going to keep an eye on it, see if it makes any more metal. Obviously, there'll be some break-in metal shavings with doing the cam and lifters, all brand new stuff. But we'll do an oil change, you know, right off the bat, and then kind of monitor it from there and see how this thing does. So hopefully we can get it all back together, get rid of the MDS stuff, and get rid of those leaks and have this thing running smooth again. It wasn't that bad to begin with, and as you can see, it wasn't really damaged. Maybe some of the noise was just the exhaust manifold gasket or the exhaust manifold bolts or the heat shield, all those other problems, but it sounded like the lifters were making some noise to me. Maybe they were on their way out. You tell me in the comments what you think was going on. So with everything I've removed so far looking good, aside from the oil leaks, I think I want to drain the oil. Could have done that earlier, but I plan on doing it and flushing oil down the passageways to get any metal shavings out, because I was expecting metal shavings in it. I haven't seen any myself yet. I've seen pictures and a video from the owner of metal shavings in the oil. So I'm going to drain the oil, see what's going on. If it's not the cam and lifters and it's still making metal, maybe we have a bad bearing or something, and I want to see if we can figure it out while I have it torn apart this far. Hopefully there's no longer any oil in the metal. Maybe that was, you know, a one-off thing from it getting kind of low, and some of the coating maybe on the cam, the lifters started to wear. Maybe they weren't spinning with oil for a short amount of time, caused some scoring, made some metal, you know, dust, and then we're good now. So let's see what's going on with this oil, and then after that, hopefully put this thing back together, which will be a painstaking process. Taking it apart is the easy part, and I got stuff strewn all over the shop. All right, so did the old drain and strain on it. You can see my oil catch can here, and then I've got this shop rag that I checked before to make sure it wasn't reflective in any way, and I filtered most of the oil right through this thing, and I'm not really seeing any metallic reflection, unless y'all see something on the camera. Looks pretty normal to me. I don't know what y'all think. So with that, I think that's good news. So obviously, might not have done all this work. We would have just fixed the leak had we known that the cam and lifters were okay. But what we did know was oil level got low, got driven like that. Then there was metal in the oil. And then since then, there's not any more metal in the oil, and it was making a weird noise. So with that, it could have been exhaust noise. But what made the metal initially? You tell me what you think. I think it's a good move to go ahead and do this MDS delete. Obviously I will at this point, but had we known what we know now, I still think I would have done it. I think I would have done the MDS delete to, you know, help this thing be that much more reliable. With the noises it was making, it was bound to have some kind of issue with this common lifter failure that these 5.7 Hemis have. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that potential issue, and I think maybe we caught it in time. But if you think there's another issue, if it's going to be making metal again in the future, besides the break-in oil, let me know what you think. I feel pretty good about it. I need to change the oil filter and flush it and all that good stuff, because at one point there was metal in it. And then put this thing back together with the MDS deleted parts, the new cam, new lifters, and the block off plates for the solenoids, and then get this thing back together, leak check it, put some miles on it, change the oil from the break-in period. I got to look into how many miles to put on it and do that. But we got 2 oil filters worth of oil and filters, so probably have him do that shortly after getting it back and driving it a few days. That's where I'm at with this thing. I think I'm going to wrap this video up. We got this thing apart. We've done some you know, reverse troubleshooting, doing it after the fact, after taking the engine apart. But I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Why do you have metal in his oil? I don't know. Didn't sound right. Had a little misfire. Everything was pointing to the cam and lifters, but they look fine. So gonna get this thing together, upgrade it a little bit with a new set of lifters and cam with the MDS delete and the proper tune with this kit that I got from AMS Racing that I haven't hardly touched. I've unboxed it and looked at it in the previous video, but let's get this thing put back together in the next video and see if this thing wants to run smooth without leaks. A lot of oil right there.